All right, so last night we set traps. We went to 10 pack rat middens and we set 2 traps at each of the middens. Today, and we're going to call today day 1, we're going to check the traps. All right, now remember our goal is to estimate the population size of Neotoma albigula on the Red Mountain campus and to figure out their density. And to do that, we use this mark and recapture technique. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of the math involved with the mark and recapture technique. It's very, very simple. And we are day 1. And on day 1, we're going to check the traps and see how many tagged animals we're going to get. So I'm going to write that as the number of marked animals, the number marked. Now, the entire population of pack rats on campus consists of the number of marked plus the number of unmarked animals. Now, the number of marked animals we'll know because we're going to check the traps and we're going to mark them all. The number of unmarked animals we don't know. All right, and that's the animals that are on campus that we didn't trap, of course, and didn't mark. But we can estimate this number based on what we get on day 2. On day 2, we're going to have number of marked animals, and then we're going to have the number of unmarked animals. Now we're going to collect this day 2 data on Thursday morning because we'll set traps out on Wednesday and we'll check them on Thursday morning, and all of the animals in the traps will either be marked animals, these are recaptures, or unmarked animals, ones we've never caught before. Now, the ratio of unmarked to marked animals on day 2 is exactly the same as the ratio of marked animals to unmarked animals on day 1. So we can simply cross multiply to figure out this unknown number, and then we can add this unknown number that we arrive at by cross multiplication, add it to this one, and we get our total population size. All right, and then we're going to do a little extrapolation. We have marked or captured animals at 10 middens, and we can look on campus and figure out how many middens there are. We can walk campus and we can count the total number of middens, and campus is 48 hectares. So then we can just do a little extrapolation. For example, I'll do this for easy math. If there are 20 middens on campus and we have estimated the population size at 10 middens, then of course we just double that number, and that will give us the estimated population size for 20 middens. Now, if we don't want to walk around campus and count every midden, then we can simply look roughly at the area that we've sampled with our 10 middens, calculate that area, and again do an extrapolation with some maths to figure out how many middens we would have in 48 hectares. All right, but we'll go over this math in a little bit more detail, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how we're going to use the numbers that we collect today. So I'm going to have a little check to see what they are, and if they're Neotoma, then we will process the animal, and if they're not Neotoma, then we'll just release them. I'm thinking this one is not because it's wiggly. No, it's a Neotoma. All right. So they're actually quite cute. I know people get freaked out by rats, but do you want to have a little peep in there? Okay. All right, so we'll process these guys. So that's 2 animals. All right, so first thing we're going to do is shake the animal from the box into the bag. I've got these big thick gloves because they've got big teeth and they're very bitey. So Joey, I'm going to have you tie this bag. Just tie it just one knot. Doesn't have to be super tight. That's it. A bit tighter. That's it. Okay, great. Grab the scale for balance. Awesome. All right. Okay. So, mass of this animal is 190 grams, but that's the mass of the animal plus the mass of the bag. We've already weighed the bag, and the bag weighs 40 grams. So we're going to write down the mass of this animal on our data sheet as 190 grams. And then when we enter it in our notebook, when we get back to the lab, we'll subtract the mass of the bag. All right, good. So now we're going to mark the animal. Going to give it a very stylish tattoo. Envy of all pack rats. All right, Joey, so if you can undo the knot. That's it. All right, now sometimes they get out, they escape before we manage to mark them. I don't want it to escape, but sometimes they just do. All right, so coming close. Right, there we go. And I want to give it a little Sharpie mark in the ear. All right, so we're going to do animal left. Sorry, animal left. That's the left. And you're going to do a little mark inside the ear. So just give it a good old color. Lots, 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 lots. So it's absolutely unambiguous. All right, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're good. We've given it a mark inside left ear. And then we're gonna sex this animal before I release it. It's small, but it looks like a male. Joey, put this as a male, but no, it's a female for sure. Female, okay? All right, and let's release her. So if I was a betting man, I would say this one's gonna be a boy. Right, date night last night. So this one has a mass of animal plus bag of 240 grams. It's heavier than the last one, which is another little indicator that it's a mature male. And so this one, Joey, will mark inside right ear. And there are different ways to mark them. I'm using a Sharpie mark because I'm not worried about longevity. It just has to stay there for the next 3 days, and it generally does. But there are other ways we can mark them. We can use ear tags, and they're reasonably permanent, but they can tear out. Or we can use something called pit tags, the same sort of thing that we chip dogs and cats with. And that's very permanent and very long-lived. All right, so they're terrified. They don't like the light. All right, so there you go, inside right here. And get sort of deep in there as well so it doesn't wear off, deep in that little fold. That's awesome. Very, very stylish, I must say, the envy of all your buddies. All right, so let's sex this, definitely a male. Okay, all right, good. So we'll release this guy. There we go, little fella. All right, so nothing in this one. So trap number 1 empty. Trap number 2, we got something. All right, so this animal, we've got a mass of animal plus bag of, we're gonna call this 204 grams. Good. So this one, we're gonna do a Sharpie mark outside left ear. Right there, so just push the ear against the glove and then mark it. That's it, awesome. All over. Let's release this little, I think it's a little lady, but let's have a look. No, it's a male. Okay, it's a male, little boy.
Move it.
Okay, so one trap closed, the other one empty.
210.
Yep, good, 210, 210. So this animal we're going to be doing outside right here. Is that right? It's where we're at?
Yeah.
Ooh, so this one's got a tear in its ear. And that's interesting. Sometimes those tears are the result of ear tags that have become torn out. Now, I've not put ear tags in these animals for ages, so I don't think this is an animal that was tagged years ago and the ear tag got ripped out. I think this is just one of those hazards of jumping around a tree with lots of thorns. Right, so it's another male. Ooh, and that one's got a short tail. Okay, one open, one closed. Another little Neotoma. About 168, I reckon. 168 for its mass. So this next one, we're going to mark inside left ear, outside left ear. Now sometimes you can mark them with real little tattoos. They have got these little gizmos that actually leave a tattoo on the animal. All right, so let's release this guy. Yep, so another little Neotoma. It's a small one. 150, yeah. So this is a small one, little one. So to mark this one, we're going to do right ear, inside and outside. It's a small male. Yeah, 152, good. So for this one, we'll do inside left, inside right. Female. She doesn't know where to go. There she goes. Okay, make sure it's a little Neotoma. Yeah, sure is. So, ooh, biggest one I've ever got. I don't think I've ever gotten anything over 300 grams.
What about today? Didn't we have a 250?
Yeah.
240.
240.
240. And usually it's the big old males that get to be that mass, or pregnant females. No, it's a female. Seems to be the pattern, doesn't it? One empty trap, one full trap. Yeah. So it depends. In the wild, I think the longest lived you'll probably get an animal like this is maybe like 5, max 10 years, right, if it does real well. But I don't know the answer to that question in the wild. But if we trapped every year and we marked them either with an ear tag or a pit tag ideally, and did the trapping twice a year, then we would be able to answer all of those questions. That's it, perfect. All right, awesome.
And it's a male?
Sex?
Yeah.
You're pretty sure, right?
I'm pretty sure, but we got to check. No, it is a female. Female.
Is
So
she pregnant?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really can't tell. Yeah, another big Neotoma. Here, let me see if I can get it against the glove. There we go. Keep going. And it's a male. I know it seems delicious, but don't go in there. I can't help myself. It's peanut butter and oatmeal. It's my favourite. What's the full scientific name, Emily?
Neotoma.
Neotoma what? Neotoma.
It's the white-throated wood rat.
Good. Neotoma albigula.
Neotoma
White
albigula.
throat. Yeah. So they are definitely rodents, 100% in the Rodentia family. Yep.
Ooh, that's what
Yep, so they're rodents. I think they're murid rodents is the other finer classification. Yep. And do the outside while we're at it. All right, so that's a male. Okay. Yep, there he is. All right, so we just checked all the traps. All right, all 20 traps, so we can fill in this number here, the number of marked animals on day 1, and that number is 11. We call 11 Neotoma. Now remember, the total population of Neotoma is this ratio, is the number of unmarked animals, and that's the animals on campus that we didn't catch, plus this number 11, the number we did catch. The ratio of unmarked to this number is exactly the same as the ratio of unmarked to marked animals that we'll get on day 2. So we'll be able to fill in this number and this number on day 2, which for us will be Thursday morning. Then we can do our cross multiply math to figure out this unknown, add this number to this number, and that gives us our total population of pack rats for 10 middens. And then we've got to do a little bit more math if we want to find out how many pack rats there are on campus, and then a little bit more math if we want to figure out the density of pack rats, that's the number per hectare. All right.